session, which is gonna be the enterprise mobility and security, the Microsoft EMS. My name is Shoaib Kutsi, and I am the pre-sales consultant for Redington for Azure and M365. So in today's session, everyone is aware that now EMS is the new Office 365 with the new name changes, new packages that has been offering with a lot of security features, and it's a bundled solution for an end user for mobility and security. But what is an EMS? What all features EMS adds? Microsoft was never known as a security vendor. So, what things have changed? What are products has been included, and why this has been a value add for end customers as a solution for their environment? It's not a value add. I think it's a must-have solution for a company, maybe any sort of company. If you have end users, if you are concerned about security, EMS, the M365 EMS is the solution that you guys should be looking out for. So let's deep dive around this. So what is EMS? The introduction to mobility and security. So now the security landscape has been changed. Now we have our end users, especially after this COVID situation, things are going to change more. Now our users want the flexibility to be at any part of the world, to access their application, to access their data, and they need it. It's a must have for them. I mean, they can check their emails at any time, anywhere. They can access their files, they can access their applications. But it's a very big headache, especially for the IT administrator. Security is a very, very major concern. So, the landscape, we have identity, which is the user's identity from accessing any device anywhere. Now we have multiple devices. It can be your phone, it can be your laptop, it can be any OS, it can be iOS, it can be Mac, it can be Android, and we have different set of applications. This is not only relevant to Microsoft specific application. Now, on an average, a user use more than 25 applications, including your email, your Dropbox, it can be your G Suite, or many third-party SaaS application that the user needs a privilege to be accessed. But but the current defense that we currently using is not enough. What the on-premises currently use? The on-premises currently might be using a firewall, a gateway, a VPN connection. But is that all that we need for security? Absolutely no. Security is much, much more than that. And let's see what EMS offered, what Microsoft offers us as a security solution. So now Microsoft has bundled a solution called as M365, which includes your Azure AD. Azure AD is, so if you guys are using Office 365 or Azure or Dynamics 365, you are already using Azure AD, maybe a basic version of Azure AD. So Azure AD is basically identity and access management solution that is a centralized management solution for Microsoft for the complete cloud. So irrespective of which cloud, the Office 365, the which is M365 now, the Intune, the EMS, the Azure, the Dynamics, everything will use a centralized mechanism called as Azure AD. So you remember one thing, if you're using Office 365 and if you want to use Azure, you will only have one tenant with different subscription. One is your Office 365 and one is going to be your Azure subscription, and the complete identity is being managed by Azure AD. Then we have advanced threat analytics. M365 has a feature called as ATA, which is advanced threat analytics, which is based on multiple parameters or for the users, the entity, the behavior of the users, how he's accessing the application, and it uses the analytics and it takes the call based upon the policies that we have set, which we will look in the later slide. Then we have Intune, another powerful solution from Microsoft, which is called as Intune. Intune is basically the mobile device management. Mobile, it's not only specific to mobile. Of course, you can manage your laptops and your machines, but Intune is your complete MDM solution, which is a must-have solution for an organization. And then we have Azure Information Protection, which is the AIP, which is used basically for your documentation protection. Imagine you have a document which is highly secure with the credit card information, with phone numbers of your database. You don't want this sort of information to be compromised, this sort of information to leave the company. So we have AIP, and then we have a CASB solution called as Cloud and SaaS App Security from so see now let's what an end company, what an end user need. An end user need an identity and access management, which has been given by Azure AD. We as an admin, we need to know the analytics, how is the behavior of a user, which we will use ATA. We want the user to access the application from any device, anywhere, but to be very compliant, we have Intune. We want our document to be protected, which is Azure Information Protection, and we want to take care of our cloud-based application and security, for which we have CASB, which is Cloud App Security. So let's deep dive. So what is EMS? EMS is a suite of tools which admin can use, which an organization use to control, secure, monitor your organization data and resources. So any data that is coming inside the organization, that is going out of the organization, you absolutely need to monitor it, and EMS is an answer for your solution. It comes in two variants, which is E3 and E5, and there are over 47,000 enterprise EMS customers, and this is last year's data, which is 2019 data, with more than 27,000 applications secure with the security suite. And after this COVID, this number is going up and only increasing day by day. And of course, EMS has been integrated with Office 365, which we will look into it, and what all EMS can give. Let's go to next slide and we will go in detail. So what is a product portfolio for EMS? So we have Azure AD, which is an Active Directory for Azure. We will deep dive what are the functionality of Azure AD. Then we have Intune. Then we have Cloud App Security. Then we have Azure Information Protection, MFA, Multi-Factor Authentication, which is one of the service which Azure AD provide. Then we have PIM, which is Privileged Identity Management, which is used to manage your identity across all the application. We will deep dive in that as well. Then we have Azure AD Identity Protection, and then we have Security Center for Azure, and then we have ATP, which is Advanced Threat Protection. So these are the product portfolio for EMS. We have many more when it comes to sub product, which we will look in future if time permits in this solution. So in today's world, the mobile productive challenge, what we need is we want the work easily from any device, anywhere, easy access to all the familiar application, and collaborate and share it with our partners, with our internal company, or maybe external, with our partners, with our customers. This is what an user expects. But what are the challenges? To secure all the company resources, I mean, whatever the user is sharing, we need to absolutely make sure that they are not sharing any sensitive information. We need to protect company's data and resources, and we need to do more with the limited resources that we have. I mean, we cannot monitor each and every email, we cannot monitor each and every device to how they are accessing and how they are using the information. So with EMS, we have productivity, like, and then we have data protection. So productivity in terms of device choice, any device, anywhere, easy to access resource, self-service of application, and familiar apps like Office 365 or N365. And for data protection, we have the user device application file control. We have conditional access. We can give access to any user with the help of Azure AD, that We can give condition that the user can access the device only from his specific phone, like my, for example, iPhone. He should not be able to access the data from any device, from any application. That is conditional access. We can give condition to access the data, like the user can access the data only from specific network, only from specific browser. Every each and every information will be provided, which will be shared by the user, and he will be limited to that. And then we can also do the protection after he accesses the data, how to protect the data. So we have one specific console, which is for the Intune, which is the new Intune app on Azure, where we can manage the user, we can manage the device, and then with enterprise mobility and security, we can automate and we can give it to our customers. So mobile first, cloud first reality. Now Microsoft, they came up with a terminology called as mobile first, cloud first. But what is the reality out of it? Now, 72% of the mobile devices, 72% of the workforce in the US will be using mobile by 2020 to access all the application. Now, 63%, this is a report, an IDC report, 63% of the data breach has been done when the application or the password is been stolen. And one of three shadow IT by 2022, a third of a successful attack experienced by an enterprise who will be their own shadow IT resource. He will be their own resource, but he will be responsible for compromising the company's data. Now, as an IT, you need to give your IT administrator a complete freedom or complete access to your environment. But you also need to monitor that how he is using the access for what all data he's sharing. And you as a company owner, you need to be completely sure and secure how the data has been accessed. Now, this is just a graph that we see here, that 300% increase in the account attack this year. If you guys are not aware, UAE is number two globally. UAE is number two globally for data breach and data attack. We are number two in the world. Then, so there are 300% increase in the attack after the cloud came into picture. With 96% of the malware is automatic, and 15 million is an average cost to the business per breach with the recent ransomware and the Trojans attack that happened recently. And at the same time, the mobile productive usage, user expect that the workforce is easy for application collaboration, and the challenge is to manage the access, protect the data, and monitor the resources. So without going into much of the details, that we know what is our requirement now and what is an expectation from an organization, let's see what M365 offers. So M365 is a bundle of your Office 365, of your Windows 10 as an operating system, and a combination of enterprise mobility and security. So in this session, we won't be covering the first two part, which is the Office 365 and Windows 10. You guys are already aware about it. You know what is Office 365 offer with the SharePoint and the OneDrive, and we also know that with the M365 we get Windows 10. We get Windows 10 as an upgrade depending upon which version of M365 you're getting. But what is EMS? What I mean, Microsoft takes few additional dollars, but what does it offer? So let's get into that. So what is offered in intelligent security? I mean, we need to do onboarding to our customers, confidential. We have data, business value, migration, and there are a lot other things that is happening. And especially as we are aware, now it's been said that this is the fourth industry transformation. And then first initially it was the mechanical, then the steam engine, then the computer era. But with the cloud, with the AI, with the automation, with the data warehousing, with the machine learning, this is the fourth world industry transformation. But at the same time, we also need to understand that what it takes for us to make sure to drive to the transformation. Now we know every company wants to digitalize, every company wants to transform, but how to do it? Now, you need to protect your data, files, application, and devices. You need to detect and protect against the external threat. You need to protect your user account and control, and you want your user to work securely anytime, anywhere. Now, we want protection with the flexibility for the user. So, what Microsoft offers in EMS. Now, let's look into the protect your data, files, app, and services. So, Microsoft has EMS with its Azure AD. Intune, we have Cloud App Security, we have Advanced Threat Analytics, and we have Azure Information Protection. Now, with the Cloud App Security is basically a I mean, it's a cloud access security broker. It's a Class B solution that operates within multiple clouds. It's not only related to Microsoft. It can collate with multiple cloud vendors, and it provides a rich visibility and control over the data that is being traveled. It gives you the complete analytics, how to identify what are the cyber attack threat that has been happening, and everything in detail. So how cloud app security works is cloud app security has four models. First, it discover and control the user of shadow IT. It discover the users and it control the user what all application is using irrelevant to IaaS, PaaS or software as a service. What is the workforce or what is the job an IT does? It discover. Then it protect your sensitive information anywhere in the cloud. What it does is it understand the CASB solution, it understand and it classify the exposure of sensitive information. What are the sensitive information that is being exposed? And then it protect the information. It protect the application or the device or the user against the cyber attack. It detects the unusual behavior of the ransomware or the application or high risk users, and it protects it against it, and it gives access to compliance and cloud apps, and it also gives us an access to the complete compliance to complete information that has been gathered and that has been put across to all the cloud application, and it gives a complete analytics over it. Basically, it has a dashboard with the help of which it will give us a secure score, how is secure your application is, how much is the threat, what all users are accessing which information, and it will give everything in detail. Then we have advanced threat analytics. What advanced threat analytics does is it protects the enterprise for multiple layer of advanced targeted by cyber attack. So basically, advanced threat analytics is a network processing engine. It works on protocol like DNS, Kerberos, NTLM, and it gives us a detailed analytics of how the data is being used, how the data is being entered in the network, and it monitor your complete network infrastructure. And then we have Azure Information Protection. Azure Information Protection is basically a cloud-based uh, documentation protection which helps an organization to classify and optimize the document by applying labels to it. What does AIP does or Azure Information Protect does? It apply label automatically on behalf of the user that to define the rules and conditions how the document should be shared. I mean, is the document critical? Is the document information highly informative? Is the document good to share? And it protects. So EMS is a suite with the help of Azure AD, we protect the complete identity and access management. Then we have then we have Intune for the device management. Then we have Cloud App Security. Then we have ATA, and we have Azure Information Protection. And then we have Windows 10 as a bundle of M365, which gives Windows Defender APP, which is basically an endpoint device management. Windows Defender is a very advanced version of the old Defender that we're using, with lot of additional security tools with the help of ATP, the advanced threat. It gives a better security endpoints. And then we have the Office application. So this makes a complete bundle of M365 security. Then when it comes to detection, We have the complete suite, and then how to protect the users. Again, the EMS, what we check, and then we have work securely. Then with the help of EMS, with the help of Intune, and with the help of Azure AD, you can use the application from any device anywhere. With the help of mobile app, we have Skype, we have Exchange Online, and then we have SharePoint Online to work securely from anytime, anywhere. In Azure AD, one of the features of Azure AD is, let me go step by step here. Then imagine we have a user. Let me give you an example of conditional access, what we detect. Now, if the user is accessing from laptop from his device, it will first go to Windows Intune to verify that the user policy is verified or not. And if the user is not being verified based on the policy, based upon based upon the IP that is using, the browser that is using, it will first cancel the access to the SharePoint Online, or it will grant the access after the policy verification. What it does is it will cancel the access if the device is not compliant, and if the device is compliant, it will grant the access to the third party application. So, this is how the policy verification works in conditional access with the help of Windows Intune, Microsoft Intune. Same goes with mobile application management. It check the devices, it check the policies, and then depending upon the app that has been permitted, or depending upon, and Intune doesn't touch your personalized application. With the help of mobile application management, the management is only authorized to manage the office application. So the application like Kindle or Twitter or Facebook or Dropbox or Netflix, it will not be managed. So your device is compliant, at the same time the privacy of the user is being considered here. Okay, so now, okay, imagine, let's take an example. Imagine a user is sending an email with Office with Outlook, and it's an Excel file, and you user copied the data, and it wants to store the data to the personal application. With the help of the policy, it will not be able to do it based upon the requirement that they have, because this is a company specific document that the user cannot store in his personal application. Can he do it? He cannot save it to personal storage, the Word file. No, he cannot do it. Can he save it to OneDrive? Yes, because OneDrive is an office specific OneDrive. Of course, even that depends that you want to give him access or not. It's an Apple specific OneDrive that he can access and he can store the data in. Now, encrypt the files. This is the job of AIP. All the files that you have a user as an email or the OneDrive, you can protect it, you can share it with any person, you can view it on any device, and you can track it as an admin, that which all information is being shared as a user, it is allowed or it is not allowed. Managing access to an application, you can give single sign-on to all the third-party application, and you can give single sign-on to the Microsoft specific line of business application with the help of Azure AD. So identity, so it is Azure AD use machine learning, and it gives security reports, and it use PIM. And for this is an intelligent cloud access. Then for app security, we have conditional access. We have multi-factor authentication, which is like it will ask for dual authentication, and we also have cloud app discovery, which cloud app has been discovered, and it has detect threats. It has threat detection for user behavior and sample attack timeline. So this is the job of Azure AD. You can be any device, anywhere, and you can access and you can protect your data with the single console with the help of Azure AD. Then we have the Microsoft Advanced Threat Analytics. What ATA does is, imagine you have a device or servers or mobiles or any device. With the help of ATA, we use Azure AD. It detects the behavior of a user with a complete analytics, that what is their behavior. Imagine the user is accessing trying incorrect password for more than 3 times, or the user is accessing the device from different location. The user was in UAE now, and then within minutes the user is accessing the same data from USA or from India. And it takes out all the forensic known attack and issue that happened in the past. It has an advanced analytics with the help of, it checks the attack or the ransomware or the trojan that happened in the past, and with the help of it, it gives an advanced threat analytics based on the behavior and based on the known attacks that has been happening. And so this has been covered. So for a user, we have a multiple layer of protection. Imagine the user is accessing his mobile or his laptop. First of all, we have Azure AD, and in M365 we get Azure AD Premium for identity and access management. And then we have Intune, so identity and access management, and the cloud app security, or the conditional access, or the MFA, is the first level of access that the user gets. And after he is being accessed and authorized, we have Intune, the mobile device management, for monitoring all the applications. So we have multiple layer of monitoring that is being done for a user. And then we have Azure RMS, which is right management, that is being done on a user as well, which is an enterprise mobility and security. So for a user, maybe an admin and an end user, we have multiple layer of security for a user. Even if it authorized as a genuine user, it will have multiple layer to make sure that the device and the application and the data is secure. Then we know we have Windows Hello. I won't go in detail here, but Windows Hello, we can do two-factor authentication by facial recognition, by fingerprint, or strong device pin that we have. So the Microsoft Defender ATP that we have, it detects the threat. It's an endpoint security license that we have, or services that we have. It checks the threat vulnerability, the attack surface, the next generation protection. It detects the endpoint detection and response. It auto investigate and remediate, and it also connect with the Microsoft Threat Expert. So that's an endpoint Windows Defender that we have. Then we have the Azure ATP, the Advanced Threat Protection. So this is going to be the console of Azure ATP. So I've just taken a random name of Jeff Lichtman. So with the help of this, you will be able to judge. You will be able to judge that what is your score, like what are the alerts, how many devices are connected, what are the resources, how many accounts Jeff has taken, from which all location Jeff is trying to access the data. So you can get an overview, you can get a threat analytics, additional information, and all the details you can get it from. So for example, you get a console for Azure ATP, and if you see Jeff is the vulnerable user with high alerts, you can go to Jeff profile and you can dig down in detail what all he's been accessing in the past 1 month or 3 months, whatever data you want to fetch it in. So also ATP helps for anonymous sharing from OneDrive for business. Even if you're using OneDrive from business, ATP has a restriction for file sharing, and it can block the user, and it can block the file to be stored or shared as well. Then we have AIP. AIP is Azure Information Protection. So how it works is, imagine this is your on-premises environment, and then we have the managed mobile environment, and then it is hybrid. So how AIP works is, the first step of AIP is, first of all, it classify and label the data. So whatever data we have in Azure Information Protection, it will classify based upon the data classification that we have. If you have seen the AIP console, or I will show it to you, the AIP console, it will classify data based upon the sensitivity and the labeling that you give to the data. Then it protect the data by encrypting. So imagine if there is any data that you want to share, but as per the admin, it is been classified highly sensitive. You won't be able to share your screen as well, because the data is highly sensitive. So screen sharing won't be allowed for data sharing as well. You won't be able to capture the data by snipping tool, and of course, it gives the monitoring to the data information as well. Then we have the cloud app security. How cloud app security work is, it gives a complete visibility what all application, it's a third party or Microsoft specification application, uh, the cloud, the shadow IT is using. It gives a complete control for the cloud environment with the help of DLP, the data layer protection, the data sharing and policy setting, and it gives the threat detection as well. So Microsoft Cloud App Security, it discover and assess the risk of the application that has been accessed. It control access in real time, whatever access the user is accessing, and it protect your information and detect the threat. So Microsoft has used heavy, Microsoft is using heavy bunch of analytics tool here in terms of cloud app security and in terms of other information. And with the help of this cloud app security, you are able to access and store the data that you want to share. So let me quickly go back here. And so EMS comes in two portfolio, as I told you, it's E3 and E5. So what you get in E3, and of course the pricing differs, and you can of course take it as a bundle of M365. So with E3, we get Azure AD Premium 1. With the help of E5, you get Premium 2. So it's only between Premium 1 and Premium 2, the only difference is PIM, Privileged Identity Management, which is the MIM, Microsoft Identity Management. Then you get Intune everywhere, and with AIP, Azure Information Protection, you get protection P1 in E3, and we get P2. Hide that, we get P2 in E5, and Cloud App Security is also be there in E5, and ATP you get in E3 and E5 both. So the complete framework, we get cloud discovery, we get information protection, we get threat detection, and we also get conditional access. So this is the portal of cloud app security. So here you can integrate all your applications. See here we have Exchange, we have Dynamics, we have OneDrive, and you can integrate your third-party application as well. And this is a score. What is a secure score based upon the number of user accessing, based upon the security that has been given, and all the detailed information of cloud app security is been given here. Then we use DLP, the data loss prevention. So you want to make sure that your office or your M365, your data is highly protected. We don't lost the data. There is no data loss at all. So with the help of DLP, will help us to identify, monitor, and protect your sensitive information, which we get as a bundle in M365. And we can create DLP policies in Office 365 for your documentation, for your Windows Server, and another operating system as well. So this is a data loss prevention policy that we create. So that's it, guys. With when it comes to M365, so as I told you, it's a must-have solution for all our customers and all our partners. What we are accessing in terms of M365. So let me quickly check that if I can show you any of the tool for M365, any of my portal. Just give me one quick minute here. I'll just stop sharing for a while. So guys, I hope you are able to see my screen here. So this is your M365, and I have got a demo. I have got a demo account where you can see the complete M365 suite. So I'll just go to the admin portal, because as I am the admin of this tool of this M365 account, I can go to the admin portal. And this is a user right management. So all the security and compliance report for M365, you'll see it here. This is your M365 admin portal, and this is an M365 security portal that we see here. And for security and compliance, see here, all the security has been done. Your DLP, the data loss protection that you have, your threat management, with the help of the dashboard and everything, we can do the threat management. Then you can do e-discovery. You can check the mail flow. And if you go down here, you can do the compliance management as well. We have, for compliance, we have a different portal. With the help of this compliance portal, We can check the complete compliance. So what are your compliance score? I don't have anything here for now because I don't have any users added. It's not my production environment, but this will take us to monitor all the compliance that we have. And then if I go to my M365 portal as well, this will give you the complete admin centers for my Azure ATP, for my Azure AD, for my compliance, for my Exchange, PowerPoint, and all the security tool you will be able to see and check. This is a place where this is a normal Office 365 where you create and add all the users, but this is where the M365. So let me go to the endpoint management as well. Let me show you that. This is the portal where you can see all the endpoint devices that we have and the complete management with the, and it will take us to the Azure AD login page, and we can do the complete endpoint management from an Azure AD center. Which all devices are connected, which all apps are connected, what are the end user security score, what are the reports that you create, and everything in detail that you have. So that's where we have. Okay. So guys, so this my devices are active, my devices are healthy, and everything you can see here. And then this is my complete dashboard for Azure AD as well, the demo account. So this is where you will see the complete device and security. So this comes to end of our session. We will give next 10 to 15 minutes for question answers we have. I know there were very less amount of time because M365 is a product portfolio where it might take an hour for us to only define for one specific solution like the CASB or the ATA. And but as this was a webinar, we had a very, very limited time to share. So that's it from my side. I will quickly paste my email address in the chat window, so you can go ahead and paste any. You can put any requirement that you have. You can directly email me, or absolutely you can ask a question here and drop me an email for any specific requirement or question that you have.
Thanks, Shoaib. It was really such an insightful session. Guys, if you have any questions, Shoaib has dropped an email ID in the chat box, so you can reach out to him. Thank you, Shoaib.
Thanks, Juliet, for your time, and thank you all, guys. Please feel free to ask any questions if you have, or just drop me an email. Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks for your time.